What is your name and current occupation? My name is Tania Zeine, and I work as a National Security Advisor for the Department of Defense, specifically on our operations that we have in the Middle East. It's been an incredible job, incredibly stressful, but it's always something that I've wanted to do in terms of working for something that feels much bigger than I am. What brought you to MCC? Well, I was 7, so I'm not sure. But I would say what brought me to MCC was my parents were eager for their kids to be in a school that not only, had a great education system, but also a place where you can also share the values that you have at home also in the schooling system, which is so rare. So I definitely think it was the fact that we were able to kind of immerse ourselves into our faith while also being able to get a great education. What year did you start and graduate? What year did you start and graduate at MCC? I graduated Year 12 in 2010. Crazy, I know I look 21. And I think I started in 3rd grade. Fun fact, my other school, I still wasn't reading yet, and Mum was like, something's wrong with her. So we came to MCC, but I cannot remember what year that is, unless someone else is willing to do the math for me there. What do you love about MCC? There are so many things, but I think the first thing that comes to mind is probably the sense of community that this school has that I think is quite special and quite rare. It isn't something that you find everywhere else. Oh wow. How has MCC helped shape your life/career? I think my favorite part about growing up in this school was that it was small. It gave you more attention and more time with people. And I think it's a kind of confidence that you get that you probably wouldn't get somewhere else. And I think that judgment and that experience has kind of just has given me this confidence to do what I do now. And I think if I hadn't come to this school, I think the confidence would have come eventually, but I think it definitely would have taken longer. So I definitely, where I am now, definitely credit the beginnings to being at this school. How have you seen MCC change over the years? I would say in so many ways. I think the most beautiful thing though, to see how big MCC has gotten is that it is still, the principles and the way the school is at its core is still there. I just think that it's been so blessed in terms of the amount of kids that now come to the school, the reputation that it has. It's grown in so many ways than it was when I was here. I remember the science room and the chapel were the same room, and reception and library when I was here were the same room as well. So it's just so beautiful. And also there are iPads in the office. I didn't even know that was a thing. And the teachers, the staff have uniforms. Crazy. So I would say buildings and it's grown in such a gigantic way, but the beautiful thing is that what the school is at its core, the steadfastness is all still there, which is really beautiful. Can you share a special memory from your time at MCC? Other than stealing cans of Coke Zero, I would say the first thing that comes to mind when I read this question is being able to be college captain in Year 12 alongside my best friend. I definitely think growing up at MCC, I was probably more of the underdog, the cheeky kid rather than the academic kid. But the school still had faith in me to carry this position of leadership. And I think that this growth and confidence in me from having those responsibilities really came out. And I just don't think that I would have developed that confidence if I hadn't have spared that special time alongside my best friend and also teachers that trusted me to have that position. Can you share a funny story with your time here at MCC? Where do I begin? There were so many times this school could have suspended me, but somehow I just guess God's light just shined upon me. I would probably say this is the only one coming to my mind right now, and I wish it was something else. But when I was in Year 12, I found the fridge where the canteen ladies used to stock their Coke Zero, and there was no padlock on it. So I would take them and then sell them, and then use that money to buy pizza buckets. Am I allowed to say that? I got caught by Miss Oxley, I think. It's fine. It's fine. Look, I was an entrepreneur. Thank you very much. I know, and then Mr. Van Plu put a padlock on it, so I went back the next day to go get more, and I was like, you know what, Van Plu, there's no loyalty with you. He's like, you stole from us, you know? And my mum and dad were like, we're so sorry. And I was kind of like, women have to make money in this environment, okay? Oh, they were incredibly worried, but I proved it wrong. They trusted me and I excelled. What message would you like to share with MCC as it celebrates its 40th anniversary? I think the first thing that comes to mind is probably more so for present and future students rather than maybe the school itself, but I'm also happy to change my answer. But I would say that the amount of time that I spent worrying about my future, figuring out what my place was going to be in this world, God has that planned for you already. Your only job is to stay in the present and do the best and be the best that you can in that moment, and everything organically falls into place.